the
like
double
we
A
are
streamer.
underway. We have a shuffled start location. Looks like they're up on Death Mountain. As we work diligently to get synced up, we see what looked like a money-making game up in Death Mountain as the first open cave location discovered by AmazingAmpharos1.
And already we're seeing a little bit of a route divergence, where RCdrone's going to the vanilla blue ring shop, while as Double A is going to go ahead and just check the grave.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's our favorite, 0 HP enemies.
As the, I guess that was the Armos item, was the wooden boomerang.
Yes.
That's something that drone picked up while I was doing this, getting synced up, I believe.
Looks like both players have it, actually.
Okay.
Double banana pickup. TGE's probably incredibly happy now.
He says he's on Team Drone, but as you realize that AA has it as well. I'm still in a situation where I think I'm going to have to close drones and open it back up, because he hasn't even started yet on my end, so...
Yeah, that's what I had to do with Double A to get his going. But it looks like money isn't going to be a huge issue, because it looks like we have either first or mixed overworld, but I didn't quite catch what vanilla level 3 was to be certain. Ooh, wood sword at the traditional location and no extra candles.
Okay.
So both players are going to have to either buy a candle or find
that
that
means
red candle.
they will have to make the candle purchase. Yep. Not surprising that that was Drone's first place that he looked, or not first, but made his route such that he went to check fairly early that regular white or wooden sword cave position.
Yep. We have a boomstick.
Oh.
And RCdrone has bought the boomstick less than 5 minutes in.
Oh man, the money is flowing. That means he is on a path to find that magic wand to alleviate any potential future bomb troubles.
Plus, given that either we're in mixed or we're in first quest overworld, there's going to be plenty of money to go around. We have a level on Double A's side.
Yes, let's say one screen right of vanilla level 3.
Now we'll have to see if the pallets are shuffled, because that looks like vanilla level 3's pallet.
Doesn't look like he's taking the time to. Maybe he's going to make a bomb purchase and go back into the dungeon. No, he's going to correctly check that wood sword cave, though.
Yep. He'll probably go back in now that he has a weapon to work with. And 2 bonus caves already for RCdrone. Both up in the forest.
And so, did he take heart container out of both of them?
Yes, there are no extra candles.
That's right. Yeah, with the no candles, obviously, this early in the run, you're more likely to be picking up heart containers than a red potion.
So we have Shuffle take any roads, and they're okay. They're not great.
It does take you to it does unlock one of the raft spots. It appears on Drone's side, at least. So the fact that the next one is right on Candle Row doesn't help. But and there we see Ampharos. using those nanner strats to good use, taking out the Vyres with his wooden boomerang. We have a Wizrobe dungeon with the appearance of likes. Fortunately,
we have taken a look at the coast item. It is Blueberry Banana.
Okay, so the nanners are on the overworld today.
Double A getting bodied a little bit by those land molas. He's going to head back to the start, and it looks like we don't have shapes.
Okay. We've just got a legitimate, regular shaped level 3 ninja star. Just happens to have Wizrobes in it.
And we have 0 HP bosses.
Ooh.
As RCdrone heads through what I'm going to go ahead and say is level 2.
Yeah, judging by that color, I would have to agree. But it's always nice to see that you can take down a 3-headed Gleeok in 3 shots.
Indeed.
The compass located by Ampharos, but it's nice that he knows where the Triforce is now, but he's probably more interested in what might be behind this Dodongo blocked staircase.
Silvers!
It is the silver arrows! Right off the bat.
So, that changes the value of the blue ring a little bit, because now red ring could potentially not be in 9.
Yes. So, may have been the wise purchase on Drone's side to go ahead and spend his money on the book, knowing that if he needs a ring, the red ring would be more likely to be available as opposed to being buried somewhere in level 9.
Well, the downside is RCdrone doesn't know that the silvers are in 3 yet because he hasn't found it.
Very true.
But he still has a boomstick as soon as he finds a wand, which he's probably going to look for the item in 2.
Yeah. Item 2, relatively small dungeon, easy item, no staircases, no clipping involved.
In fact, there it was, the power bracelet.
Oh. I appreciate you keeping me apprised of what's going on Drone's side, as it's really not working out for me on this end. As we have a Triforce pickup in level 3 for Ampharos.
And at pretty much the same time, RCdrone picked up the Triforce in level 2.
All right. So a couple of early short dungeons taken care of, one each by each player. This is where it gets fun. It's not nearly as exciting as far as I'm concerned when they are on the exact same route and have the same exact Triforces. Now is when we get to see what really is. You can see 2 guys with the same number of Triforces in completely different spots. Routing, like I said, routing becomes a huge issue at that point. Can you make the most efficient path through the overworld?
Absolutely. So Double A is sitting at maximum money. He's probably going to go ahead and buy the boomstick once he comes across the shop for it.
Yeah, if he finds it, you've got to think it's his first purchase. Although he goes back to start and decides that he doesn't like the decision he just made. Thought he was going to retry there real quick since he did save.
Interesting.
Continues and finds another money-making game. So this is the gambling district of Hyrule on the northwest portion of Death Mountain. Or southwest portion of Death Mountain in the northwest portion of Hyrule.
RCdrone has purchased a candle.
Right.
And we find level 9 on Double A side up in that far northwest.
So in its standard, is that in its standard second quest location?
It is one to the right of its standard second quest location.
Okay. It was freezing up on me a little bit, so I was unable to get a feel for where he was at.
So we found 3 dungeons, 2 items, and 1 player with a candle.
Yes.
Also,
Couple of overworld
RCdrone is
items, couple dungeon items.
God.
I was just recounting the items we found. Certainly has been a lot more successful exploration thus far in this seed than in the one last night. Just goes to show how much difference there can be in one randomizer seed to the next. As you and Unos were probably at this point of knowledge and ability to explore dungeons and get items probably 30 minutes in.
That probably is the case. Double A took an interesting approach. He decided to bomb out all of Death Mountain, then take a retry with all of the knowledge he had and get all of his bombs back.
It's not the not the worst thing, I guess. He certainly could have other things, and he does locate a dungeon. I'm going to guess this is level 5.
Yeah. Given that, I think it's pretty safe to say pallets are not shuffled. This has the same pallet as level 5, and it's also having the same shape as 5 so far.
Right.
And if there's any doubt, that map will confirm we're in level 5.
As Ampharos trying his best not to use his keys, but trying to make use of those bombs he got back with the retry. Finding himself locked in a room with wallmasters and bubbles. Fortunately, one of the bubbles refusing to spawn until he had cleared the room. Is that a byproduct of the shuffled drops? Perhaps. I'm not sure if that's that or if it was just a situation with sprite issues.
Which is good for him because he didn't have a candle at this point.
And speaking of candles, though, for him, he does find one in level 5, so he avoids having to make a purchase. That is a tremendous discovery.
Alright, I'm gonna have to reload Double A's stream. He's got from 160p to 480p. Alright, I think I'm good. I got both players at about 13, 37, 8, 9. Alright. So Drone is going to get this item in level 3. Find the silver arrows. He's very happy, I imagine.
Huge pickup for him.
It looks like a deep Triforce in 5.
Yeah, certainly has been a lot of exploration on A Double's end. He does find the compass and confirms it is in about as remote of a location as possible.
But he will go ahead and pick this up with the help of Lord Banana. And RCdrone finds his final bonus cave and takes the potion.
Not surprising. Once you've gotten a certain number of heart containers out of there, maybe that last, if you do find that last one, pick up the potion. That way, down the road, you have a a lot of extra hearts in case there is a nasty Ganon fight that is required, or maybe Patra's just being a jerk in level 9.
RC has found the White Sword Cave, and the item is the White Sword.
And what did he find in the White Sword Cave?
Just the traditional White Sword, and he did go ahead and pick that up.
All right.
Looks like AA has found level 7. We find that level 7 is a Wizrow dungeon. Ooh, that's never any fun. RCdrone, meanwhile, is going to head up to, it looks like the Lost Hills area. And he finds another large secret, putting up to 172 rupees. So he has a lot of options of what he can purchase, but doesn't really need to purchase anything.
Yeah, you got to think, with having already purchased the boomstick, it does, and he's already got the silver arrows, and he's bought a candle. Not a whole lot left for him to do with those. Maybe if he needs keys down the road, or maybe purchasing hints if he finds himself stuck somewhere. But, so yeah, it gives him a lot of flexibility, maybe a bomb upgrade, although with the boomstick that might be a silly purchase.
Could also buy the meat preemptively if he thinks he's going to be meat blocked.
That's a good point. It's a nice thing to have in your back pocket. I know you guys found a meat situation, I believe, in level 9 last night. It just wasn't actually part of what needed to be completed.
Yeah, I was right in a spot that you could technically go around it, but it was a little inconvenient to do so, but not really. Oh, AA might be Dig Dogger blocked out of 7. So, he could have a workaround. Outside of getting bodied by a Blue Land Mola. And RCdrone finds level 1. Level 1 is definitely...
Level 1, of course, a huge find.
Level 1 is going to have 2 items. One sitting on the floor just like a floor drop, or what you saw in level 2, and in fact there it is, the recorder. And the other item is going to be behind a staircase.
Now, we haven't had anything that would indicate this was a mixed quest overworld at this point, would we have? We've only seen first quest situations thus far.
That is correct.
Okay. So that may devalue the recorder a little bit outside of that potential Dig Dogger block that we were looking at in level 7 on A-Double's side. Still, obviously a great pickup. It opens up the spot on the overworld, allows you to move freely between certain dungeon spots after you've picked up the Triforce. And again, the only way to defeat a Dig Dogger if it is blocking your path.
Plus, it's also good for just traveling around Hyrule.
Yeah. We will see, hopefully soon, if he utilizes it in the overworld, whether it takes you to the dungeon locations in this seed or to the dungeon locations in the original game. There's a way to, kind of unlock a couple of spots there, although the unlock with that, the RAF spot, the level 4 is located in the regular game, already been seen because it was the destination of one of the take-innies.
We also have on AA's side that It looks like he is not recorder blocked from the Triforce in level 7. There was a workaround.
All right, so
The question is, will he go and pick it up, or will he keep looking for this item?
I would think if he does, since he doesn't have the bow and doesn't have the ladder, he's probably going to try to find an item. Although level 7 would be the one if you were going to pick one, not to go back around in. This would certainly be it.
Well, we got some bad news for RCdrone, and potentially good news for AA. The magical shield was the second item in level 1.
Ah. So that would be a way if I don't know if A has seen that this is a boomstick seed yet. That is certainly something that would tip him off to that, though.
I don't think he has, because I imagine with his capped money, he would have gone ahead and bought the book.
Yeah. Yeah, he's practically begging for something to purchase at this point. Seeing all those rupee drops he's getting in the dungeons and nothing to show for it.
Unfortunately not. And RCdrone still nearly capped out on money. I wonder if he's gonna opt to just hold on to it, or just find something to spend it on, or just give it to the old men that want door repairs.
Might be a nice little safety net fund for those. Meanwhile, Ampharos trying to find anything he can do other than take this transport staircase and not found himself running himself out of bombs, trying to pick some more up off of the Dodongos.
Alrighty. We are then on AA side. And RCdrone has found level 8.
Ooh, a big find, because as you very well know, 2 items in the dungeon in level 8. He's still looking, of course, for the ladder, as well as the bow, as we have not seen either of those items yet.
Unfortunately, RCdrone is going to have a little bit of difficulty. Oh, but never mind. There is a ladder in level 8.
Ladder blocks now.
That doesn't have his spawn situation.
He needs to find that wand then, super fast.
And look at that. Recorder and ladder blocked out of 8 instantly. Finds a map room, decides to skip it. Which granted, he's probably very familiar with the vanilla shapes, so I doubt it's ever going to be a factor picking up a map versus not.
Yeah, we've gotten used with the shapes nowadays to seeing people picking up the maps. But back in the day of the randomizer, before shuffled dungeon shapes were a thing, the map was a guaranteed no pickup.
AA has picked up the bomb upgrade.
Oh, that's something you could do with those rupees. It is the standard 4, as he goes from 0 bombs to 12. And with that being in level 7, perhaps that is another thing not shuffled in this seed.
And there is something else to keep in mind. Both of these players now know that Red Ring and Silver Arrows don't have to be in level 9. They could both be expecting the wand, or at least AA might be expecting the wand to be in 9 and that he'll just never pick it up.
Yeah. That would certainly be unfortunate. The good news is he didn't waste all of his rupees and never be able to recoup those losses by purchasing the book. But certainly, if you're making that buy, you want it to you want it to pay dividends for you.
And we do have a confirmation on Double A's side that the meat is not required, as he is blocking a solid wall.
Yep. Not guarding much behind him. The 2 ways in and out of that room, and they are three ways, and they are easily accessible.
So RCdrone's going to take a deep look at Death Mountain here to see what he can find, but he's not going to find much except level 9 and maybe level 5.
Yeah. As we saw Ampharos do his excavation earlier, followed by a retry. A smart move. May not matter one way or the other a whole lot in the end, but certainly a good strategy to think about when your start screen is on Death Mountain. You're able to do that bomb everything and retry pretty quickly, and save yourself some bombs if you don't find anything of use.
And interestingly enough, RCdrone is doing the same thing to keep his bomb count up.
That I would say that surprises me, but it really doesn't. I've seen him use the up and A and restarts to his advantage too many times in randomizer races to not be shocked by that. Ooh, Wizro Beam on Ampharos as he continues to trudge through this extremely large level 7.
Yeah, at some point you've got to start thinking, okay, when do I cut my losses and just move on to another dungeon?
Yeah, unfortunately for him, it's a dungeon he's found and a dungeon that he's cleared most of. At this point, he's almost pot committed, so to speak.
If this is the bow, or maybe even the magical key, or even the wand, if he decides to go get Boomstick, this might work out, but if it's anything besides that, it's...
Yeah.
I don't think that this is the right gamble to make at this point in the race. If it's very late into the race and you're still missing a required item, then I think it would make more sense to come back into 7 once you've eliminated most, if not all, of the other possibilities.
Yeah. Well, the thing here is not saying he's playing on past experiences too much, but he has. Perhaps it's in the back of his head that in the first round of this tournament, he knocked off Crystal Saver, and a huge portion of that was his decision to push the issue in finding the item in level 7, which I believe it turned out to either be the bow or the silver arrows. I think it was the bow. Or no, it was the latter. I take it back. It was the latter because it was behind a Goma.
Yeah, that's right.
And so I don't know if that's in the back of his head, remembering that that was his bread and butter for victory in an earlier race. But either way, I mean, we look at it, we know it can't be either. It can't be a useless version of the Book of Magic. It can't be either Boomerang. It can't be the magical shield. It can't. I mean, chances are, I mean, unless it's the raft, it's probably an item that he will be okay with picking up.
Yeah, I mean, let's look at what the possibilities of it are. Like you said, we have the raft, we have the magical key, red ring, wand, bow, and heart container. Always got to remember that heart container.
The heart container, obviously, that would probably be, of what we know are the remaining options, would probably be the least savory for him.
Let's see what he gets. The wand.
Oh.
Now, he's still pretty close to Boomstick purchase.
Oh, yeah.
He could end up picking that up.
Yeah. It would not be difficult at all for him to get the requisite number of rupees that he would need at this point, as we are now out of level 7 with AmazingAmpharos. And what a thing to leave behind and never come back to.
Now, if he's able to pick up that Boomstick, and RCdrone has a lot of bomb problems in 9, it could swing the race.
Yeah, I mean, it would be if he is the only one to find the wand, unless Drone is just dead set on finding the wand, it doesn't seem likely that he would search for that long in level 7 just to find an item if he's already got the Triforce. So that's, it's probably not the number one item that Ampharos wanted to find in that dungeon, but it may be the best possible outcome for him when judged against what his opponent has up in his situation.
TGE, I believe the bow could also be the second item in level 8, because I'm pretty sure we have not seen that yet.
Yeah.
But we do know that between the second item in 8, the item in 6, and the item in 4, we have to have the Rafting bow.
Yeah. And then the heart container, magical key, and red ring could be in any of those. We see the magical sword, obviously with 5 hearts. Ampharos not going to be able to pick that up at this time or anytime soon, most likely. Could come into play as he finds a dungeon that looks like level 4. It's a slightly different color from level 6.
And an extremely early Triforce.
Quite so. He ticks it up. Let's see if he goes back in the dungeon.
No, it looks like he's going to bail on it, at least for now.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Well, as much time as he spent in 7, it is kind of surprising that he would do that with a smaller dungeon.
Maybe he's looking to check all of the things around Deadwoods before he goes deep into 4?
Could be.
Also, if we didn't have any confirmation... Go ahead.
No, I just said you could be right. That's all I was saying. Sorry.
No. Now, we do have confirmation that the drop groups are shuffled, if we didn't already, just from the gels dropping items.
That's always a pleasure to discover. Easy to kill item that normally doesn't drop items, giving you a crucial heart or rupee in any given situation. They don't seem like a lot because if it's not a bomb drop, but it could be huge.
So to answer the question that was asked in chat of what is the randomizer? Basically, the randomizer, what it does is it takes the vanilla game of Zelda 1 and randomizes as much or as little as you want. You could have the randomizer randomize everything to where caves are shuffled, items are shuffled, dungeon shapes are shuffled, rooms are shuffled, enemies are shuffled, everything is shuffled. Or you could boot it up, say, okay, I just want cave shuffled, item shuffled, free candles, and I don't know, Ganon not required or something. The randomizer is flexible in that you can select what to have it randomized. Mm-hmm. Now this year is a random percent tournament, so nobody knows what's randomized until we get into the game itself.
Yeah, it's basically being a test of how well you can adapt to what the game throws you when you didn't know what you were getting into coming into it. Last year we had set flags for each round of the tournament. I believe in the tournament that's being planned for later this year, they're going to go back to that format. But with this random percent, it's interesting because from a commentator's perspective, you get something a little bit different each time around, and it's been really fun. Sometimes for the runners, perhaps it may not be as fun not knowing what they're getting themselves into, but you at least can take solace in knowing that your opponent is in the exact same situation.
Just something interesting on RCdrone's side is he's already up to 10 keys. So I don't foresee him having any key issues at 9. Whereas AA's at 5, and if he doesn't find a lot of keys soon, he might start to have some key issues if 9 doesn't treat him well.
Yeah. We'll say it would probably come down. It looks like he is located, maybe this is level 6. 1 was 4, 6.
Yeah,
as far as the palette is concerned.
This is definitely going to be 6.
Okay. Early staircase reveals to us a corridor.
And with that, we have found the locations of every dungeon.
Yeah. Alright, so recorder and raft not required. Power bracelet not required in order to locate the dungeons, if I am not mistaken. Whether or not...
The only one I'm not 100% sure on is level 8, but the rest are not blocked by any items.
Okay, and we have a raft pickup in level 6 for Ampharos. Again, we have just discovered with the location of level 6 that the raft is not required to find all the dungeons, but still, 1.1 he's not aware of that yet, and point 2, it's not a bad item. It's not like it's a terrible item to be finding, and he also has over 200 rupees now. So, if he can find the shop with the book, he has the wand, he could get himself the boomstick. And the question I ask, well, what is randomizer? What is the boomstick? Well, it takes the Book of Magic, which is long been revered in the Zelda community as a pretty useless item by most people. Actually, sometimes doing more harm than good when it sends a beam of fire at the end of your magical rod when it makes contact. Now, instead of a beam of fire, that book allows the wand shot to create a bomb-like explosion capable of damaging enemies and opening walls. It's a huge, huge item that, especially in a seed where you have maybe the enemy's HP is shuffled up to the higher end, can deal a lot of damage very quickly and give you peace of mind about not running out of bombs when trying to open up dungeon walls.
And something else to keep in mind is that because the shops are not shuffled, they'll be able to purchase the boomstick in more than one location. If the shops are shuffled and the boomstick is on, it will always be in the rare shop.
Yes, having the rarest of locations, although in this situation it's just taking the place of the most expensive priced magical shield, which, like you said, has multiple locations.
Exactly. The two easiest ways to tell if you're in a boomstick seed are if you find a magical shield in a dungeon or you find the shop to buy it.
Yeah. Really, outside of maybe a clue from an old man somewhere that's about an item's location, that's about the only way you can find out. And nice eradication of that four-headed Gleeok. 0 HP bosses and 0 HP enemies, meaning combat not a huge factor thus far in this seed like it can be sometimes. Although even though they are 0 HP, they still deliver damage, so you have to be sure to avoid getting hit, as neither player has any sort of advanced defense with a blue or red ring.
But level 8 has a major problem in level 6. He's ladder blocked.
That will certainly, allow Drone some time to find that dungeon while he works on the rest of his game. I don't have, I've had trouble having Drone pulled up, but I'm operating under the assumption that he is probably operating with a slight lead in this race thus far.
It is currently 7 Triforces to 4.
Yeah.
And RCdrone also has both the ladder and the recorder, which are required for level 8.
But look out, world! We've got an active boomstick. AmazingAmpharos finds a bookshop, makes the purchase, and now, when it comes to walls and dungeons, all bets are off.
Indeed, he just has to find the right dungeons. And RCdrone has entered level 6.
Okay. He will not have the same issues that Ampharos had.
And he's also up to 10 hearts, so he has the option to pick up mags, and there's a 10% chance he'll be able to do so.
Yeah.
The reason it's 10% is there's a flag that can be on or off to allow the amount of hearts required to pick up the swords to be shuffled. there's a 50% chance that will be on. And if that is on, there's then a 20% chance he'll be able to pick up mags at 10 hearts. So after some mathematics, it comes out to about a 10% chance currently.
And Ampharos looks like he's probably not looking for the magical sword at this point, as he does know its location, and he picks up a potion in the Take Any bonus shop. As far as Drone goes, unless he finds himself with 12 or more hearts before he's ready to go to level 9 and stumbles across the cave with the magical sword, I can't imagine that it's going to be too high on its mind. Certainly more than capable if Ganon is his regular HP, as he's a separate flag from the rest of the bosses in this game. I think he is more than capable of taking him down with the white sword. So not going to be a huge factor on his radar unless he just comes across it.
Absolutely. Now, interesting to note is neither player has picked up a bow yet, and we're down to 2 possible locations for it.
Mm-hmm. It's either in 4 or the second item in 8, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to bet that RCdrone will gamble on 9 with no bow.
That could be a possibility. As we're now getting to see the boomstick in action. For those of you, if you've never seen it, that's what it looks like. The wand goes off, and when it makes contact with something, the same familiar explosion that we're used to with the bombs in this game.
Although I do note that if you're playing at home and have a boomstick, if the enemy can be hit by the wand's normal magic beam, the damage from that takes priority over the bomb damage.
Yeah. So, fortunately, it does bomb-like damage to Wizrobes, since they cannot be hit by the beam, correct?
That is correct. And it will also do bomb-like damage to Darknuts.
Yes. Well, provided they're facing the correct direction, I assume.
Exactly.
So, quick level 2 for Ampharos. Definitely a good thing for him. He found the power bracelet, which isn't necessarily an item that, again, high on his radar. It does open up some potential locations for him, and now he knows that the Take Any roads are not simply what is located under those. But it does get him one more Triforce. He's going to have to get all of them one way or the other. So,
also remember, he has not found levels 1 or 8 yet.
Yeah, so that's 4 items he is missing out on, having not found those 2 dungeons. He's going to check this raft spot up here. We know there's not a dungeon there, although we'll get to see what is in fact located. It is a hint shop.
Interesting. Although I think we're in pretty much all community hits, so I don't foresee him buying any. And level 9 is not the traditional Wishrobe set, it is Darknuts.
Oh. So.
And this room right here is huge for RCdrone. He has found Ganon's room with no Ganon.
So, already seeing some changes to the layout of level 9.
And he has just found Zelda, Ganon not required.
Oh! That's, certainly, how many rooms was Drone in 9?
9. 9 rooms.
Wow.
9 doors, 9 rooms. It's perfect. Wait, I think he took a staircase. That would be 8 doors.
That is a quick in and out. Thank you very much. Level 9 for Drone. And he has secured his place in the knockout stage of the Zelda Randomizer tournament. And that, you know what that means for Ampharos. He is headed to next week's race-off, containing all of the players with 2 wins, including my commentary partner, Isolated999. I believe the top 6 finishers from that race will advance into the next portion of the tournament.
Is it the top 6? I thought it was dependent upon how many 3 1s and 4 0s there are going into the Swiss stage, unless we know that's a fixed number.
I believe it may be a fixed number at this point that there were going to be 14 of them, and so, but somebody can obviously check my math on that. But yeah, in any event, he will be racing, and the top X number of racers in that race will advance on. That might be the most fun event of the tournament, at least for the viewers. Not sure how much you or Ampharos will be enjoying it isolated, but we'll certainly think it's fun. And we are joined now by RCdrone in the booth. What a level 9 there, Drone.
Yeah, that was pretty nice.
The 9 room 9, the dream.
Yeah, I couldn't have asked for anything more, especially since I have the bow. Does AA have the bow?
He does not have the bow.
Okay.
That's one of the things we were going to ask you was, at what point did you make that conscious decision to say, hey, I'm going to 9 without the bow? Was it after you had all 8 Triforce pieces, or sometime earlier than that?
I mean, I was gonna go into 9 regardless. I mean, even just to, like, I don't think it's that bad to have to come back to 9. You can scout out 9, you figure out paths. If, like, you find Gandalf and Zelda, like, at least you know how to get back to them, even if your gamble's busted. I don't think a busted gamble is as expensive as people might think.
Okay. Obviously, that mentality paid off in this instance. And as far as that bow goes, we still have no idea where it's at. We think it's either in level 4 or it's the second item in level 8 after you picked up the ladder. Now, Ampharos just discovering a magical shield after he purchased one. How upset were you that you weren't able to get your hands on the wand in this seed?
Yeah, that wasn't. I didn't feel like I was doing. I felt like I was doing okay in the seed, but not like great. I didn't make any major mistakes, but I wasn't going super fast either. Like I wasn't like 50-50, like grabbing Triforce by picking the right place. Like I saw at least half of almost every dungeon. And I almost took a big time loss in 5 when the Triforce room with all the blue Gorias, I was waiting for them to like move out of the way so that I wouldn't have to take like a crappy like a crappy chance stab where they might simultaneously throw the boomerang back at me and kill me, because I was down to half a heart there. And he actually threw the boomerang, and I don't know how I didn't die, but he died, the boomerang disappeared, and then I was able to clear the room and get the Triforce. I think that was probably the most stressful part of the run, other than just like not being able to go super fast.
Yeah, certainly a slower and steadier completion of this seed than perhaps you would want, or that we are used to seeing from you, but effective nonetheless.
So when you found the silvers in 3, did that start getting your brain rattling that maybe you'll find a red ring somewhere and that blue ring basically is not even an option to purchase?
Honestly, I wasn't even thinking about like forced items in 9 until like many dungeons later, where we realized, oh, I have the silver arrow there. Then anything could be anywhere. Like the magic rod could be in 9 for all I knew. But yeah, it didn't occur to me. It just slipped my mind.
For your edification, it was in level 7, but it took quite a bit of soul searching to discover it on Ampharos' side. He does have the boomstick, but he paid dearly for it in time.
I see. I mean, what? Oh, just from digging 7?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I was too bomb blocked either. Like, I don't think I was ever bomb blocked actually. Actually, there was one room in 8 where I was bomb blocked, but it ended up not mattering.
Yeah, this was a really just generous seed for bombs in general. I mean, there was none in level 7. There was none deep in level 7. There was that one in level 6 right next to the Triforce room, but by that point you had a lot of bombs.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I saw a bomb wall in 9 at all.
Oh yeah, I don't think I had laid a bomb. I just followed the doors. I usually just try to conserve resources in 9, just because it's really bad if you run out of bombs. Like that's like probably the worst time loss you can take in 9 is running out of bombs or keys and getting stuck.
Yep, absolutely.
And yeah, just doing the math, there was a decent chance that the any key was in level 9, so hard to alleviate that trouble. So definitely a great move to, as they say, take what the game gives you and try to see what you can find without spending your resources. In this instance, it worked out perfectly for you, Drone.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I went into 9 with maybe like 10 keys or something. There was tons of keys, tons of money, especially since I didn't have to buy arrows. And then in 7, I thought I might be bait blocked, but I was one room shifted over. So then I knew if bait wasn't required either. So was able to save a lot of money. And I ran into like all 3 big secrets right away.
Meanwhile, we now have Ampharos discovering level 8 up in the White Sword, Vanilla White Sword cave area. Let's see if he can, if he digs out that second item so that we can know for our own sake what it was.
Did he pick up the recorder in 1?
He did pick up the recorder in 1, yes.
Good.
And he's got the ladder now.
So now he can go and get that Triforce in 6. And is this the second item?
Is it the room right next to it? Did you go into the room right next to
what was that
ladder drum? It was a spiral staircase with a dodongo.
Oh, I mean, what was in it?
We don't know yet.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
there's the bow.
I haven't been in there.
Oh, okay. It was the bow. Well, how about that?
That is awfully disappointing. I wanted it to be deep at 8.
Yeah, that's two rooms over, you find the ladder. Next room over, you find the bow. A couple of great items tucked away in level 8.
I'm pretty lucky now that bow wasn't required, because 8 would have been the last dungeon I would have gone back to, because 4 small, 7 I had already seen 2/3 of, so I would have gone back there before 8 because I'd seen very little of 8.
Yeah.
So that also confirms that the remaining 3 items between levels 4 and 9 are going to be the heart container, the red ring, and the something else.
The magic key.
Ah, yes. All of which, outside of the heart container, are good items to have, so... For all we know, red ring's in 4 or something. I mean, there's no way we're going to know unless AA decides to go and hunt for the item in 4 for some reason.
Though, yeah, I don't see him spending a lot of time spending time going back to 4 as quick as he ducked out of it.
There's the Triforce in 8 for AA. He's just got to get the Triforce out of 6, and he'll be off to 9.
All right. So all in all, once it and then we see this a lot. Once it comes down to a guy has what feels like a really big lead, and then all of a sudden after he finishes, his opponent, you're like, oh, turn around, oh, he's almost done as well. Especially if he takes that same path in 9 as you did, Drone.
Yeah, because a lot of the game is just spent gathering information. So even if you don't have like a high Triforce count or whatever, like you've made a lot of progress in that time.
Yeah. Unfortunately for him, he does know where 6 is, and he's heading straight there. So, and I believe, and he also knows the location of level 9 because he did the same thing. I believe that you did, bombing all of Death Mountain from a restart and then retrying.
Yeah, I didn't want to run out of bombs up there. There's like too many bomb spots, and like this spawn location is perfect for doing that.
Yeah, it was a great start location for that. Not the greatest start location for being able to get to the wooden sword, but fortunately it was in its normal spot. And that was another thing you did. Y'all had a divergence of paths from the start. He went over to the grave, and you worked your way in the general direction of the Vanilla Wood Sword Cave, and it paid off for you.
Yeah, it's because AA doesn't screen scroll, so I don't know, I had mixed feelings. The Armos item was in the grave spot that I knew he wouldn't get to for a while, but it was just the boomerang, which is like, it's nice in a 0 HPC, but it's not like they took a huge lead because I got the boomerang there.
Yeah, both of you picked it up pretty much right away, and then yeah, but like you said, neither of you were going to be using your ladder to go pick up the other boomerang at any point in time.
Yeah, I'd cross that off as soon as I saw it.
You know, it's interesting that the ladder was really only required for level 6. A very non-ladder blocked C to be ladder blocked.
Yeah. Yeah, 7 was kind of twisty and turny, but obviously able to be finished without the ladder because Ampharos did it early on. It just took a considerable amount of time for him to do so. And let's see what his path in 9 looks like.
Yeah, 4 is usually the biggest choke point for ladder, just because it snakes up for the first half of the dungeon. But like the Triforce is 1 room from start, so I don't know if either of us saw very much of 4.
Uh,
Lucky Charms.
By the way, for anyone wondering, that was our producer JamEvil in the background asking RCdrone to respond in 3 seconds or less what his favorite breakfast cereal was. And unfortunately, he did not come up with Frosted Mini Wheats, which is what we were looking for. So sorry, you're going to go away with nothing.
you're now in the 2-2 bracket, just from that.
That's unfortunate.
Although I believe you said Lucky Charms, so that gets you a point in my book.
Yeah. Well, 2.5 wins is enough to get to the elimination rounds, I believe.
So there you go.
So just from judging of how many rooms Ampharos has been in thus far, I do not believe he's taking the same path that Drone did in 9.
He has not. He's taking the traditional go up as much as you can route.
Yeah. Which, again, it stinks when you do what is technically the right thing, and it turns out not to be the way to go, although he is finding an embarrassment of diamond staircases and patras thus far.
Well, it's interesting. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying, it's not what you want to find, so...
Well, let's also note that he hasn't seen Ganon's room yet.
That is true, yeah. That was a telling point on Drone's side shortly before he found the girl.
It's a little tough, though, if you want to do, like, go up, because once you go up, like, you're at the top, you can't go up anymore. So it's like, do you just zig back down to the bottom and then go up again? That really, you're only spending half your time going up then. Do you just look for a staircase and then try to go up? It's really not that easy to just, like, go up, I feel like, and still, like, because you also want to sweep out corners and sides because you don't want to revisit parts of 9 either, so you have to balance that too.
I think one thing you could do with 9 is, if you're not going to take the just go up strategy, you could do a section strategy where you just say, okay, I'm going to look entire southeast, then entire southwest, and so on.
Right, but then at
just
that
so that
point,
you don't have like the one room in the corner you missed.
Right, but then at that point, you're sort of abandoning the go up strategy to try to get into Zelda's room. It's a tough thing, I think.
Well, I know for me, it depends on if I see Ganon's room without Ganon in it. Because if I see that, then I know Zelda... It's not guaranteed, but it's likely she won't be in her traditional room. So I can start looking in any direction instead of just go up.
Right, that really does put your mind at ease.
No. Now, I lost your video feed at some point. So what portion of Death level 9 were we looking at for Zelda? Oh, he's found Ganon's room, so I guess it's in this general area. So it's right in the dead center?
It's in the top left of the center.
Okay. So maybe he can make his path up from here.
Yep, he actually just found Zelda.
All right,
Link in this case.
Link in this case, yeah. And Drone finishing with a time of just under 59 minutes. Ampharos finishing just under 59 minutes. Both guys knocking this out sub-hour. Certainly nice for any schedule conflicts we had that forced this to be played an hour earlier.
So, with that, we should have an official time from him in just a second. But yeah, sub-hour for both players. 59:02 for AA.
That is correct. He was. One of the reasons we bumped this race up an hour was Ampharos had some scheduling in his or conflict in his scheduling, not some scheduling in his conflict. Sorry, there, some conflict in his scheduling that where he needed to get this done as soon as possible. So has declined interview, has closed his stream. We will see him next in this tournament in the 2-2 big race off to see who advances to the elimination round of the brackets, where Drone has already secured himself a spot.
Indeed. And that race is just getting bigger and harder by the day. It's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun, at least from this end. I hope you enjoy it as well. Drone, any overall thoughts about this seed you had today?
I don't know. I think I talked about it a lot. It's pretty non-trolly, straightforward seed that wasn't very fast either.
Well, if you have nothing else, I want to thank you for stopping by and congratulate you on your victory. We look forward to you in the knockout stages of this tournament. Best of luck to you then.
All right, thanks guys. Thanks for commenting, and thanks for the restream, Jam.
So, anything you want to add about what we've seen here today? A nice, brisk race between two very good players in this tournament. I'm not sure that we have anything else on the schedule yet for today, but certainly a huge slate of races for tomorrow, both in the afternoon and evening.
Indeed. Tomorrow's going to be the day where it's just going to be races back-to-back, constant action, constant excitement, and lots of gambling.
Yeah, I haven't checked. I wasn't looking close enough at the schedule to see how many of them are. How many of them might be in those 1 and 2 races where one guy moves on to the knockout round and to the playoff race, and the other person goes home. Those are certainly of the highest intensity at this point in the tournament. I unfortunately will be out of the house for pretty much the entire day, so I'm kind of disappointed that I'm going to be missing out on those. Are you going to be hanging around in commentary or anything for any of those isolated?
Well, I know I'm doing commentary for at least one of them, and depending on when races end, if more commentators are needed, I'll be able to join in to do more, but I'll definitely be able to see, watch, help chat, commentate like we had today.
Yeah.
All those good jazz.
Yeah, thanks a lot to everybody who were helping out with helpful comments for me on there as I was having some issues with my video. But let's go ahead and we can run down the races we're going to see tomorrow. Starting off at 3 p.m. Eastern, we have Rob Draven versus Panulfa. That one's going to be right here on Jam's channel. Along with the next 2 races as well on Jam's channel, we've got K-Mac versus Breasticle. A huge race there. Going to be 2 very, very strong players. Followed up by Janice Zeal. That one at 5 p.m. Eastern. Followed up at 8 p.m. Eastern by Janice Zeal and Crystal Saber, the defending champion of the Zelda Randomizer tournament. He is 2-1 thus far. That's be a great race. And then, so we've got those on Jams, and then starting at 9:30 p.m. Eastern over on The Dave with 3 E's in between TH and Dave. We have a 3-0 race between Random Effect and Fred Coughlin for seeding and pride. That one will be. Then back over here on Jam's channel, I believe at 10 Eastern, we have Zeb Gedney versus Chest Jerk SDA. Going to be a great race there. And concurrently with that one, currently at this time does not have a restream available. Happening at 10 p.m. Eastern, Raikou Rider versus the Seawolf. So looking at that, 6 jam-packed races tomorrow between 3 and 10 p.m. Eastern. Could catch at least 4 of those on JamEvil's channel. I guess 4 total, because the other one will be running concurrently to one of his others. At least 1 on The Dave's, and hopefully we'll have a location for the other one for you shortly. Just a tremendous run of races. So for our racers, RCdrone, and AmazingAmpharos for my co-commentator Isolated 999, and our restreamer JamEvil. This is Liquid Husband. Thank you so much for coming, and goodbye.